Make Me Like a Ton of Bricks, 2K22 had the best story mode in 2K history, and it was carried heavily by the surprisingly good RPG.
It is one not worth your time, usually bringing up the insanely predatory microtransactions. Others have called this one of the greatest sports games ever made.
The wrong with NBA 2K22 is that it's repetitive. It's not skill-based, so I feel like there's not a reason to make you want to grind, and that's why I don't like the season system. There's nothing to keep me going.
The fact that people can get the top rep in 2.5 days, and there's no fun in going for it if everybody that's playing the game is a top rep.
Like the concept of park, like I had to take another year off. It's just franchise fatigue. I've been doing it for so long.
No, I don't think that is franchise fatigue. I think people are tired of surprises and building hype. I believe everybody just wants to be told the truth. They're tired of the lies. Simple.
Hey, how much am I?
Yo, what's going on with y'all boys? Today, man, I'm here to talk about the last good 2K games in recent years. Well, I say good very loosely because these games were unfortunately very unfinished or poor or still had the city in them. So they can only be so good if they have these Stippians. But without further ado, let's get into this video. A lot of you guys really enjoyed the last video where I was speaking about NBA 2K21. And if you are new here, please like, sub up. And if you have not seen that video yet, please go watch that after this. Because I personally liked it, I enjoyed editing it. Now, to start off, NBA 2K22, the only 2K to have a good current gen and next gen adaptation, which is ridiculous to say because there have been, 5 of them now, and they've pretty much all sucked except for NBA 2K22. It wasn't like a perfect 2K by any means at all, but it was arcadey, it was sweet, simple gameplay, nice gameplay, easy to get the hang of, balanced game. There wasn't anything too cheesy to my memory. You could have a variety of builds. The city, of course, was a negative, but it was better than it was in 2K21. Current gen park was nice. It was cool. It was innovative for the time. The stage looked nice. The scenery was just nice. It was a very whole 2K. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't terrible. It's like a 7.5 out of 10. I would probably say. In that same breath, we naturally have to talk about the cons.
Are you one of those so-called badass?
The reward system was terrible. The levels, oh my god, it ruined the game. It smoked the game. It made it terrible. All it was really missing was a reward system and more refreshing scenery. Like if they switched it up, gave us solid cosmetics like here and there, It got really repetitive after a while.
Having a hard time keeping players on their game. After the people hit level 40 in 2 days, I'm off for 2 months.
Again, the reward system was bad. Sometimes the gameplay could get too cheesy, but it wasn't like anything was super out of your control like it was in this year, actually, 2K25. Like everybody could really shoot, so there was a skill gap. It was definitely prevalent, so that was good. The microtransactions were abysmal. There were glitches. Like I have a clip myself where I got stuck outside of the boat on current gen because once again, current gen was a generally incomplete game, unfortunately, but that didn't really stop it from being solid still all around. The main detriment was the reward system though. The levels was shit and they still kept it in the game afterwards for whatever reason. Generally speaking though, solid game across both generations. Pro-Am was heavy that year. I think Joe Knows did great numbers that year, fortunately. I remember watching a few of his videos, Young Precise as well. I think that was his name. It was good. These games, 2K23 current gen, only current gen, because next gen was terrible. And 2K22 as a whole kind of remind me of like 2018, 2019 Victor Oladipo and 2018 Blake Griffin. Like just unsung heroes that had no business being that good on the teams that they were on. Like it was generally a lost cause, but they made it look like a fighting chance. Like there was still hope for the franchises that they were a part of, but unfortunately, as we know now, that didn't really come to fruition. Like ever since 2K23, 2K24 was all right. Current gen has just been dead since 2K23, unfortunately, and 2K25, as we know, And yeah, that's really all I have to really say about 2K22. Like, there's not a lot to talk about. Like, once again, like I said, the gameplay got repetitive, so it was kind of just all the same thing. It was just really solid. That's all you can really say. But now to get into 2K23, man, it's like they were trying to push everybody towards next gen by intentionally making this game as buggy as humanly possible, but it was still enjoyable for whatever reason. Like, they repeated the boat, but somehow made it even buggier. I think they added a ones court that year just in the middle of the boat, which was cool. I saw a lot of people playing on that. I played on it a few times myself. The builder was peculiar. You can make like extremely overpowered all around builds. I vividly remember a takeover glitch, but the main thing I really liked about this game was the skill gap. You could win any game with any build as long as you outplay your opponent, and I feel like that's what 2K should be moving towards, not this RNG bullshit. And that was really 2K23's most redeeming factor in my mind. It was not a structurally sound game on either platform by any means. Yes, there was cheese, there was quick drops off one, there was plethora of cheese, bugs, glitches, all these things. I'm pretty sure Zens reclaimed their necessity and use and popularity in this year, because shooting did get a bit more difficult than 2K22. Like, 2K23 current gen was a very solid game. No matter how hard they tried to make it bad, they really just couldn't seem to accomplish that. But I wouldn't be doing you guys a service if I just shedded light on current gen only and didn't speak about next gen. Although this isn't supposed to be a rant video much at all, like it's supposed to be showing praise to these games and giving them a decent spotlight, boy, was next gen terrible. Next gen was fucking garbage. The city somehow got worse from last year. It was still better than 21 naturally. This was a side quest year. I remember you had to do side quests and shit to unlock different things, which was very stupid and grindy and OD. Nobody was really trying to do any of that shit. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. And aside from the city, the general gameplay was just somehow worse than current gen. I think it's because it lacked the bugs and glitches that made current gen more fun. Like the takeover glitch was actually pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. It just allowed for much more variety, even though it wasn't how the game was supposed to be designed. Like, you could have a play lock with sharp and playmaking takeover or double sharp takeover, so they'll just be like playing defense and diming until they get takeover, then they start pulling from anywhere. Or you could have just like pure defensive builds with both lock and rim takeover, which would be like that would be pretty cool. Or you could see guards with glass takeover that would be averaging triple doubles in the rec. I had one of those myself. Yeah, that game was truly refreshing in terms of skill gap, 2K22 and 23. Because 21, it just felt like you would lose if you didn't have a machine attached to your controller. 22, you can control. 23, you know, the skill gap was there. It was lesser, but it was there. It was refreshing, genuinely. Oh, I almost forgot. In 2K22, microtransactions weren't as terrible because you could actually make VC that year for whatever reason on both generations. But 2K23, the VC earning was like terrible for whatever reason. I'm not really sure what happened, but in that year specifically was like the decline of being able to actually make VC and grind your build in a short period of time without really having to buy VC. And they kept changing they weren't doing this. Well, they do it now pretty often in 2K25. That's why you have to make a new build like every 2 seasons. But they kept changing the gameplay, like the entire core gameplay. It was mainly on next gen, but they would do it from time to time on current gen, and you would just be able to like make a new build pretty fast or change your takeovers up. But on next gen, you would be just fried if they completely changed the meta from what you had made your build for. Build variety was on the up in current gen on both versions of the game, but on next gen, you would just see the same shit over and over again, unfortunately. Like, essentially, although these games weren't perfect, they were definitely improvements from the things that we've seen and stand out among the run from 21 to 25. These 2 games in my heart truly stand out. They weren't perfect. They felt like 2K. They felt like home compared to these other games, man. Like, especially 2K25. I haven't touched that game in going on 2 months now. It took me a while to make my most recent video with the Curry clones, which I think was like a good idea. It was a good video, but it was so hard to just execute on because 2K has like so many obstacles that won't let you like complete videos like that, and the gameplay all feels so fabricated because of the slingshot effect and things of that nature. Like the mood swings and the entertainment value of that just feels so forced now. I can't even get on that game and just enjoy it. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know that you enjoyed it. Once again, if this is your first video that you've seen by me, please go check out the rest on my channel. I think I'm gonna switch back to this more commentary style of video for a little while until we get some fire new games to play. Like I said, in the last video, I want to play Rematch for you guys, but gotta wait for the playtest to open back up. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.